fundamentally and absolutely wrong. And there should be no debate about it. The Imam Khalif debate raged, but there's very little doubt, despite the DSD argument, that person was born a biological male. Biological males should not be competing in amongst females. End of discussion.
Gene, I'm in no way a spokesman for the FA, so I just want to make that clear. But what I would say is this: the FA, Gene, would argue when they deal with an application from a transgender player, they have to show their hormone therapy for a certain period of time. Why would that not ease your concerns around this?
Makes no difference. It's a man. I mean, you can lower this and that, but that person has been through male puberty. They have a significant physical advantage for a number of reasons. We all know this. And, it's really nice to hear you being very supportive there, because it really is no debate. This is a man in women's sport. And you're talking about, twiddling with hormones here and there and coming to certain levels. But this is a man, and we've got to start just saying that. This girl was brave enough to say, "Are you a man?" Well, he is. And, whatever you identify as and however you twiddle yourself, it makes no difference to women, because this is opening the floodgates for women to be harmed within contact sports. And that is fundamentally unfair. And like you say, absolutely no debate. We won't be debating. And you can be absolutely certain that wherever we see an unfairness for women of this kind, our group will be turning up. We're not just going to say things. We're not just going to write things on the internet. We're coming to your place where you are being unfair to women.
Gene, can I just ask you, deviating a little bit? I'm just reading the rules at the moment. It says that under 16s may play in a mixed team. What's your view on that? Because I coach an under 15 team, boys of a high quality who are very strong. I mean, some of them are 14 stone, 15 stone, 6'1". I'm not in complete agreement with the FA's rules on even that. I mean, teenagers of boys become very, they go through puberty, they're big, strong lads. I struggle with that. What's your view on that?
Well, I think now what we've got to really invest in is making sure that the game for female people, girls or women, is strong enough that they can sustain their own teams. And that hasn't always happened, has it? There isn't always the same investment. But I see no reason for there to be mixed sex teams. I really don't. And that's it isn't safe for women. Like you're saying, some of these are, when they're 14, 15, they're almost
men.
What they would be as men. Yeah. And that isn't safe. And we should be creating more spaces for young girls to play so that they don't have that risk.
What's the support?
I would have thought it's healthy to have mixed teams, Gene.
Why?
I was at grassroots level. I was up at Newcastle the other day, and I met this fella. Newcastle were playing Arsenal, and a Norwegian chap, he was telling me he used to coach a young Erling Haaland. I said, "Did you really?" And he showed me a picture, and sitting along beside Erling Haaland was this young girl who was in the same team as Haaland.
Yeah, what age are we talking?
And
I think
we're maybe talking 14, 15 years of age.
Okay, so you've got a random anecdotal piece of evidence there, but generally, and we have to put a blanket.
It does happen across the country. It's not just one example.
But should it? And why should it?
Why should it not?
Because of the danger for the girls involved.
Absolutely.
And also, you've then got to have young girls who are significantly more skilled, who can play against more powerful and more physically. Their muscular structure and their speed and everything that is the advantage that boys get and continue to gain. A young woman's got to be so much more physically developed to play against them. So, the girls aren't getting the same opportunities that the boys have at a much lower sort of level of skill.
Yeah. No, I hear where you're going with it. Gene, what kind of reaction do you hope you're going to get outside the England-Ireland game? You're going to stand there and protest. Hopefully there'll be a decent turnout for you in terms of numbers in the protest. But what kind of statement do you hope that process in itself makes?
I think the statement that it makes is that we need to be very clear with the FA. They have to firm up their policy. They have to. And we won't stop at, turning up at the game. We're going to put significant pressure on the FA to make sure that they reverse that policy. And a lot of this policy has been influenced by, a very small minority, a very vocal, quite aggressive trans activists who make people fearful to speak up the truth. So, you know,
Well
the
said,
truth.
Jean. Well said.
No men in women's sports. And these bullies have got to be stamped out, because how have we got a small group of male bullies telling huge organisations like the FA that they have to accept that men can become women? It's not true. It's simply not true. So stop saying it. Get off your knees, men, you know, and the woman that has it. Because you are. You're on your knees to a set of men in frocks. And, like, why?
But the irony is, Jean, is the chair of the FA is Debbie Hewitt.
I know.
I don't know what that tells you.
What a betrayal.
This is absolutely ridiculous
Absolutely.
that we're having this conversation.
So Jean, the whole thing, we started with what happened on the field of play with this young 17-year-old girl who has been given a 6-game suspension for asking a transgender opponent, "Are you a man?" Now, she's out for a number of games now, 17 years of age. I know you can't speak in specifics as to who the girl is or where she is or whatever, but I mean, do we know how she is? Because she's been cast aside, right?
Hopefully by now she's heard the kind of support she has. I think she does. Sex Matters have been speaking with the family, the campaign group Sex Matters. And what we're hoping is that all of the groups that are now showing us support, and you know, there's some very famous support out there as well. Sharon Davis, Martina Navratilova, Tracy Edwards, all of these leading sportswomen are also saying this girl should not have been punished. Now, the other thing that we're trying to do is show that other girls are watching her having been punished. Well, you don't have to be. You know, we will be there for you. We will stand up for your rights. We're middle-aged women. Nobody's coming for us. Nobody cares. But we will stand up for those young women that don't as yet feel that they can.
Jean, listening to you this morning.
Brilliant, Jean.
We've absolutely no doubt that you will do exactly what you've just said. Jean, thank you very much. Jean Hatchet, 1205 spokesperson.